What's up, y'all? This is Uncle P. All right, so here's the deal. As you can see, hold on, let me move this over here. As you can see, there is going to be a lot for me to cover in this video. So I hope for your sake that you are paying attention. This is a very, very, very long laundry list of stuff that we need to be focusing on this week, okay? But the good news is, last week, in the signals group, we had 11-1 on the signals, which is amazing. So if you're looking to join our signal service, just go to our website, superezforex.com, and click on the join our signal service, and you'll be able to do that. It was an amazing week, 11-1. Woo! But I want to show you guys this too. I had this little message that came into our group. Hey, Mr. Elvis, I just wanted to write and say thank you for the signal service this week. I was finally able to make a withdrawal to pay a small bill. Now I will follow your direction and open multiple accounts to grow your account to grow. Thank you again. Amen. Very proud of you. So again, this is just one of the many testimonies we get. I need to start doing more testimonial videos so you guys can just hear from other current members exactly how they feel about what we've been doing. We've been around for several years now, and so we're just going to keep it moving. All right, now, here's the deal. Take a screenshot, whatever you want to do, of what I have here. This is a nitrogen bomb week of news events that's going to be coming up that you need to be aware of. So take a look at this. I'm going to go through each one of these. And then and this is just me. Please do your own due diligence. But what I did for myself is, after I get done going through the news events through my FX book, and let me show you where I get my information so you guys are very clear how to do your own due diligence. I go to my FX book. There are other sources out there. Whichever one floats your boat, go with it. Okay, I go to my FX book, economic calendar. Okay, and then you can, and I do this usually on Saturday or Sunday. Okay, since I no longer have to mark up my chart, since we have the simplicity system and the brand new ocean wave trade system, which is beasting out. Testimonies are flying all over the place of this trading system. People passing prop firm challenges and stuff like that with it. So in our group, we no longer have to mark up our charts, okay, because it does it for us. Each one of these services come with scanners and all that kind of stuff, so we don't have to worry about that. But what I do is on the weekends, I go to the economic calendar, and what I do is I click on this coming week, okay? So if it's already, see, like it's still, showing last week's information, so you click on next week. And next week will pull up all the events starting, see, October 29th. At the time of this recording, it's actually Saturday the 28th. So that's the reason why it's still, if I click on this week, it's still showing this. Because at the bottom, you'll see this. They have me showing, see, the 27th. And they still include Saturdays in case there's something like that. The brand new week doesn't start until Sunday. So if you click on next week, it'll pull everything up. And you can start doing this as well on your own, okay? But I'm just telling you, this is going to be a loaded week of news. So let's go through it, and I'll tell you which ones I'm paying attention to so that you'll be aware of that. All right, so first of all, the euro is coming out. And why, by the way, some homework for you guys. I've been telling you guys this the longest. Some of you guys, you have your favorite trading pairs, and that's cool. If you're not an expert trader and you're not highly successful with that pair and it keeps giving you some wins, some losses, you might want to get a divorce. And out of those pairs, start paying attention to which one gets the most news events. Because that's part of the reason why retail traders are failing in this business, because we choose to be married to pairs that are highly volatile because of news events. And the problem is we love the volatility because I want to scalp it. And we keep getting our heads scalped. You get what I'm saying? Why? Because you're playing with a firecracker and it can go off at any time. Unfortunately, many times it goes off when you're in that trade. Okay? So for me personally, I know people like trading high moving pairs and this and that. I prefer the ones with the less noise because I can take my trades, go to sleep in peace, wake up, and even if there is a news event, most of the time it won't impact those on a major scale where it just be spiking all over the place. Okay? Scalp, 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 scalp. Okay, anyway, here we go. The euro comes out on Monday with CPI numbers, and you see this is my firecracker list of trading pairs. If news comes out with this stuff included, typically I don't like to trade those pairs at all, okay? Because you don't know which way it's going to go, all right? Now, I will say, not trying to, well, yes I am. I'm going to throw some commercialization on what we did. For those who attended the Wednesday class, remember we went over your homework, which was to go over news events to see which news events, which trading system actually picks up news events the best. And as you can see, the clear winner was the ocean wave. And so again, if you are a person who likes to trade news events, I don't like to trade them, but if you do, we went over this live in class. Hands down, you better get the ocean wave system because by far it picks up news events the best. But with this kind of list of stuff, I'm still telling you, even with that, just leave this alone. Wait until news events are over and stop. Okay, here we go. So the CPI and the inflation numbers, look at this. What's on my list over here? Don't trade during these events. CPI and what? Inflation. Both of these are coming out on Monday for the euro. The JPY is coming out with their inflation numbers, see? Euro coming back at you again with what? Interest rates on Tuesday. Then they also have their GDP growth on Tuesday. Do you see which ones is already having a problem? My favorite pair, okay? And you wonder why you ain't never did a withdrawal. I'm just saying. Okay? Next, NZD is coming out with employment numbers. Great British Pound is coming out with their PMI numbers. Okay? That's production, basically. Okay? From corporations. Normally, I don't care about it, but recently I've been setting off some, some firecrackers in the markets and the currency markets. Look who comes back again. Euro coming back with their PMIs. The Swiss, the sneaky pairs coming out with their PMI. Now, this takes us into Wednesday. So I'm going to, nope, we ain't done with Wednesday. Look at Wednesday is the big kahuna. Tuesday and Wednesday, look at that. Chunk of this problems. Here is the big ones. USD is coming out with ADP. What is ADP? It's a payroll reporting company, but since they handle a lot of people's payroll for corporations, they tend to report job numbers in advance of non-farm payroll. So sometimes a lot of companies and a lot of traders started paying attention to this particular news event. So just be aware of what they may say, but also they are coming out with the PMI numbers, but that's not the big one. The biggest one for the whole week will be the Fed interest rates. Please, if you don't hear nothing else, please, unless you're an expert trader, please, Jesus, please, don't trade during this news event. Don't. And the reason why I say that, even your favorite pair that has nothing to do with the Fed interest rates can actually be impacted. Why? I know there's countries, and it's all now, same thing I was whispering a while ago. Now it's public knowledge that a lot of countries are trying to come together under the umbrella of BRICS and create their own currency that will try to challenge and knock the dollar off its king. Okay, I have been saying this stuff for years. Now it's all public knowledge. See, I wasn't crazy. The point is, though, is that currently, sorry about that, my phone, that's my phone. Currently, the dollar is still reigning king, okay? And that's a challenge. The challenge is, let me put that on mute. The challenge is that the dollar is still being circulated around the globe. And whatever happens to the dollar affects all the countries that accept the dollar. Are you following me so far? So since the dollar is still globally accepted around the world as a acceptable currency to do business with, whatever happens with the dollar, there we go. Whatever happens with the dollar affects what happens in those countries. Okay, so with that being said, let me kind of fix myself. There we go. With that being said, since that is the case, any currency pair that you're trading during this news event that could be affected by the Fed interest rate news on the dollar could affect any one of these currency pairs at the same time and cause a global spiking, which historically has happened when this news event came out. That's why I'm warning you, hey, if you like trading news events, I strongly suggest hold off on trading news until after this news event is over if you want to have a safe play. Now, if you insist on wanting to trade news, there's two things you can do. Number one, sign up for our signal service, and Mr. Elvis is very good at trading news events. Number two, get the Ocean Wave. By far, hands down, it is one of the best systems for predetermining and actually being pretty much accurate as far as catching pips on news events. The third option is to do like I prefer and what I'm recommending to you. Sit on the sidelines like the big banks and institutions do. This is the reason why the markets tend to freeze right before big news events. You will notice that a lot of times right before big news events, the markets tend to go extremely slow. Why is that? Because the big market players are not going to gamble putting millions of dollars into a trade because I think it's going to go this way. I think. That's the conversation of a retail trader, not professionals who are gambling, or they're not even gambling. They're investing millions of dollars, managing billion-dollar portfolios. They are not going to put it on the line saying, I think. That's only you, the retail trader. So if you want to be like the market makers and the banks and institutions, then you have to know when to take your hands off. Okay? And this is one of those events. Just don't trade. You don't have to trade every day. Always keep that in. You do not have to trade. What I prefer to do is to let the spikes happen and then wait about 30 minutes after the spikes have happened. And sometimes you can catch the highs of the days, the lows of the days. You can catch some good opportunities. You can catch some pullback plays. A lot of things open up as opportunities after. I'm checking my phone. My wife is at an event, so I'm waiting to hear back from her. So I apologize. I'm checking that too. So a lot of good trade setups happen about 15 to 30 minutes after the news event. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you be patient and wait, you may be able to catch some very, very good opportunities. Or the better situation is you may have found out, oh, dang, if I would have taken that trade, Uncle P was freaking right. That thing would have snatched my whole wig off. My whole portfolio would have been blown up. You get what I'm saying? Just chill, okay? All right, and I got something important to show you guys. Okay, the Swiss is coming out with inflation rates. This is very, very important. The Swiss doesn't come out with news too often, but I call it the sneaky pair because if you've ever tried trading the Swiss, you will see that it'll come out on a market day and all of a sudden it just spikes out of the blue and it doesn't, you don't even know why. You get what I'm saying? And this is a sneakier pair because it's a sneaky, well, let me shut my mouth on that. Point is, a lot of wealthy people open up accounts where? In the Swiss. Okay? Swiss accounts. CHF, Swiss. That's what it's for. The Swiss. I know you all call it Chief, but it ain't Chief. It's the Swiss. Swiss. Okay? So when they do come out with news events, you bet your bottom dollar I'm paying attention to it. And guess which one they're coming out with? Their inflation numbers. Then you got the Great British Pound coming out on Thursday with what? Inflation numbers. No, interest rate. Then you have the USD coming back out with what? Jobless claims. Hold on. This baby girl. Oh, she taking pictures. She just sent me pics. Okay, cool. Jobless claim numbers are coming out with them. Then you have the CAD coming out with unemployment number. And then you finish the week off with the big kahuna. What did I tell you about ADP? It's a precursor. And so it's the jobless claims are precursors to Friday's big finish, which is non-farm payroll. So as you can see, this whole week is loaded thick, full of news events. Is Uncle P going to play it? I added an extra category. And again, take a picture of this for yourself. Do what you want with it. But this is what I did for me. Create your own spreadsheets. Do as you will. But what I decided to do is when I'm trading, I like to not spend too much time trading. Okay? So one of the things I do every time before I even decide to take a trade is I started looking at news events. But then I enhanced this sheet for myself. Do what you want. But based on this, I said, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7 pairs, currency pairs. Okay, of course, you have the indices and you have gold. But you have 7 currency pairs that ends up in combinations, okay? So I decided, let me take a look at the ones that have news events and eliminate them on certain days. So the one pair you don't see news on is what? The AUD. So I made a note to myself that this will be the number 1 pair that I can trade all week long, depending on which one it's in combination with. Do you get what I'm saying? So which other pair is not on here after Monday? After Monday is the JPY. So maybe I'll take a look at the AUD, JPY. It just depends on what the market set up or whatsoever. But what I'm doing is I just go one by one and I say, okay, this is one that I can trade all week long. The CAD, I can't trade it on when? Thursday. Why? Because it comes out with, no, I should have put Friday. Uh-oh, glad I caught that. Okay, watch this. So I'm going to switch that and say, don't trade it on. Let me make sure. Let me double check my calendar. So you guys are seeing in real time. Because a lot of people, Uncle P, what's your routine? What's your routine? You see in the first part of my routine. My first part of my routine is I'm checking news. Because I get tired of entering trades. See, there it is right there. See? And that was Friday. See? Look at that. Unemployment, employment. Okay? Right here. Employment and unemployment rates. And then they have other things right here. Let me double check on Thursday. Let's scroll up to Thursday. Okay, that 30-year bond, that's for the stock market. Okay, so let me switch it. Glad I caught that, see? So I am not going to trade it on Friday. Okay, I said Friday. Friday. Okay, see? So I know. So maybe AUD CAD. I can look for a combination on that early in the week. Why? Because there's no news events on those. Get what I'm saying? The Swiss, I said I'm not going to trade it. I can trade the Swiss until Wednesday. Why? Because Wednesday is when they start popping off their news. So that means AUD Swiss could be a combination. CAD Swiss could be a combination. Up until when? Wednesday. You see how I'm thinking? You see it? See what I'm saying? And this will eliminate you getting into pairs that really don't need to be traded until they're clear. Get what I'm saying? Until you get the all clear that there's no news events coming out on them, this will help you to reduce the list of number of trading pairs you're looking at because you see, bet not. So when I'm looking at my news list right before I take any trades, I come here, now I got this category, I got to say, okay, which ones I'm seeing the setup. And so, let's just say I'll go through all of them and I say, okay, I'll find some good setups. Then I can still come back through this and say, okay, which ones has got, and I say, Euro, all week long. Avoid all week long. Now, this is just me. Do what you want. But that means if I see a setup and then I got my list of setup of trades and I say, okay, out of this list, which ones are the ones that will be a good fit? Okay, because I do go through all my pairs first, looking for my setups that I look for, that I teach you guys in the tutorials. And then I come through and find a reason to reduce or eliminate that risk of those certain pairs. So let's just say I have 6 pairs, potential good-looking pairs. Then I go through this, or I can do this first, or after. It doesn't matter. The point is, before you pull the trigger on the trades, I go through this, and now I can say, you know what? I've seen a hot trade on Euro GBP, for an example, which I did on the ocean wave. Ooh, that thing looked hot. Well, if it's Sunday, then yeah, I can trade it. Because there's no news coming out on the Euro on Sunday. And there's no news coming out on the GBP until Thursday. So if I decide to take a setup on Euro GBP, which I probably won't, but I'm using it as an example, then on Sunday, yeah, okay, we good. But I need to know, as long as I'm out of that thing before Monday's news events, I'm good. You see how I'm playing this? So that I'm not just taking a bunch of trades. I'm making them qualify for my investment. I'm giving them an interview process. Okay? Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? I'm giving it an interview process to make sure that I'm not taking dumb trades where I take a trade, then I wake up and the thing that spiked and hit my stop loss. And I'm sitting up there, what happened? I know I followed the rules. They said to mark my charts up, and I did it. And you sitting there crying. Why? Because you didn't do this. You didn't do this. And there is nobody that I've ever known. So in all my years of doing Forex trading, I've never seen anybody just say, you know what, every Sunday, just to help everybody out, let me tell y'all about the news events to be careful of. Never heard of it. Matter of fact, I don't know traders who talk about it in the retail space about, they give you all these strategies, but I've never heard anybody talk about, hey, what news events to avoid this week with their trading systems or strategy. Have you? And you wonder why 80 to 90% of all retail traders fail over time. Yeah, you look up sometimes, but it's like walking through a landmine. Walking through a field of landmines. Yeah, you walking, you took it to a couple of steps, but eventually you're going to blow yourself up like you're blowing your accounts up. Why? Because this is important. Look at that. This is a freaking crazy week, but not for me. So now, let me finish my list. Safe pairs to trade this week. So here's what I did. I just listed all of them, okay? And then I said on what days can I trade these and which days I can't. So when it came to the euro, I need to avoid this pretty much unless it's Sunday. Because almost every day, look, euro, 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 okay? Oh, actually, that's a lie. Wait a minute. I can change this. Watch this. I'm glad I redid this. Y'all good. So that's safe to trade. Not on Friday. Not on Wednesday. Not. Let me see. Not until Wednesday. See? Thank y'all. See? All right. So I can correct that. Why? Because looking at this list, euro has no more news after Wednesday. So that means Thursday and Friday. Let me see. Let me make sure. Not until. Let me redo this. Let me say Thursday and Friday, which I wouldn't take trades until on Fridays anyway. So I'll just say Thursday. Thursday only. Okay? All right, cool. I'm glad I'm doing this with y'all. And by the way, leave a comment below if you actually made it this far in the video, because a lot of people, they just tune out after 2 minutes and they never listen to the golden nuggets at the end. So if you are watching this, let me know if this process that I'm showing you is helpful. Because again, this is a process that's still in development for me. After all these years, I'm still refining my craft, okay? So there you go. Great British Pound, can trade that up until Wednesday. Let me see. See, this is why, when I did this at, I think, 3 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. This is why I need to redo it. Thank you, Jesus. I will put avoid, because sometimes I just wake up. Avoid on Thursday. A lot of times I just wake up in the middle of the night, can't go back to sleep. And so I start doing things to improve my craft. And thank God I'm reviewing this with y'all. Okay, so now we're good. Okay, so the Great British Pound has news coming out when? On Thursday, their interest rate. So avoid it on Thursday. Good. Next, we have NZD. And NZD has news on Tuesday. So I put not Tuesday. Okay, that was correct. And then this one is until Wednesday. So USD. We have news coming out on Wednesday, big one on Wednesday, and then Friday and Thursday. Yeah, so this one is correct. Look, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So basically, I'll be able to trade this up until Wednesday. So now I got my combos. Okay, so if I decide, starting with AUD, which is the safest one to trade this week because it doesn't have any personal news coming out on it, I can do combos saying, okay, if I see a setup on the AUD, USD, which I did. Matter of fact, let me show y'all something. Okay, y'all see this? This is NZD USD for an example. I'm not saying, because anything can happen over the weekends, but you can see how this is showing a nice clear setup, except for we got to wait for the MACD to show up. right here. Okay. But on the 15-minute, it's there. On the 30-minute, it's not. So for an example, and I'm just showing you guys this. See how price action crossed below? Okay, we're waiting for the MACD's agreement to drop below. And this is a Saturday, so who knows? And then you can see this. So if I decided that, hey, you know what? I can use this as a combo. I can go back to my checklist and say, okay, hey, is it safe to trade this stuff? So if I'm looking at NZD, it says I can trade it on Sunday and Monday, which is cool because there's no news on the NZD until Tuesday, and I have to avoid the USD up until Wednesday. So what does that mean? If it's on my list and I see a potential setup, or the scanner that comes with the Ocean Wave sends me an alert, I double check on here and I can say, okay, you good to go. You see my process? Are you guys understanding the process? Okay, so again, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. If this was helpful to you, if you think there's a better way for me to refine it, or whatever, you know what I mean? And don't forget that my classes are now open to the public. You are more than welcome to come on Wednesday, every Wednesday. Just drop in. The link is below in the description at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whether you bought a system with us or not, whether you're a client of ours or not, it's completely open to the public for all retail traders now. Just come on in and ask questions. And you can even bring this up to me and say, hey, man, that was a good video. Here's what I liked about it, or whatever you think, okay? But again, keep in mind, this is my process. It's not for the general public to say this is how you gotta do it. I'm just showing you Uncle P's thinking process to eliminate trading pairs that I should not be touching until it's safe to do so. Okay, and I'm actually glad that I made some of these mistakes because, again, I told you guys that I'm still recovering, and so sometimes I wake up in pain and I decide to make my time useful. So what happened was I woke up and I decided, man, let me add this extra little category right here. I already had, you know, pairs that's safe to trade, but I said, let me refine this a little bit more. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I said, let me just throw this up on here and then share it with y'all. And so, yeah, that's why some of my days were off, and I apologize for that. But nevertheless, you know, this is, I feel it's safe. Now I'm good. I'm excited for the trading week. Okay. I'm excited. I really am. Okay. NZD is one of my favorite ones because it's safe. Not a lot of news coming out on it. So outside of this one news event on Tuesday, I'm going to be definitely looking for some opportunities on the AUDs, the NZDs, which is my favorite pairs. I really like those. With the Ocean Wave, I love the CAD. So that means that one is clear until Friday. So AUD CAD, NZD CAD, you know, this or that. So it just depends. The GBPs, I like the GBPs, but I just know I can't trade them up until I can trade them up until Thursday. So I can play with these combos safely because I know what's going on with the news now. Do you get what I'm saying? I think it's pretty neat. Let me know what y'all think. All right. All right. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.